Hello everyone, my name's Cole and welcome back to another Minecraft video. Today we're going to start working on one of our larger projects. We're going to start building a carrier class starship, and the starship we're going to build is going to be carrying these ones that we built back in a few episodes ago. The building of the ship's going to differ in a couple key ways from when we built these ones. These ships were built from the outside in, meaning we built the outside of the ship first and then stuffed the internals inside the shell that we had built. The one we're going to start on today, we're going to build from the inside out, which requires a whole lot more planning. So essentially what that means is we're going to figure out what our key rooms are, or key aspects of the ship. We're going to build them first and then put the shell around that. So the area that we're going to focus on today is the carrier deck, or the hangar bay. So we're going to start, I guess we'll start on that right now. I've gone through and I have made some measurements of these ships. They are 70 blocks long, 15 blocks tall, and then their wingspan from tip to tip is 53. So we're going to fit them inside the ship, kind of in this formation like this. So this will be the front of the carrier. The first one will go here, and then the next one will go here and here. And so that'll be three. It'll either be 3 or 6, and I think the 6 will go in kind of like this. I had thought about putting in them in this fashion right here, so as it kind of spreads out like that. But the problem with this is they're 140 blocks long. So if we put them this way, then we'll be able to save on some length. But the problem comes with the width. They're about 50 blocks wide. So if we have them in this formation, it's going to be 50, 100, 150, 200, 250 blocks wide. Which I think is, as far as the scale goes, I think that it's going to just be too much to build a shell around, and it's going to be really hard to make it look natural. We'd have to make a really, really long ship, and I mean, we could look into it and try it, but I don't think that that's going to be a possibility. We can save some space on the wings by grouping the ships closer together. So, like, for example, instead of having these two side by side on the same plane, move that one back a bit and then move it closer to this ship. So that's probably what we're going to end up doing, but I don't know if we're going to be able to save enough space to allow for three ships wide in this part right here. So I think we're probably just going to stick with this formation like that, and that'll still get us 6 ships in the carrier deck. All right, so we'll get rid of this here. And we'll start by just throwing these ships in the rough area where we're going to build. So I've already gone through and laid out these markers here, just for easy copying. So just a left click and a right click creates our box around it. And then we're going to stand right at the nose of the ship, just on this block here, and we want to be at ground level. So we'll issue our copy command. And then we're going to come back over here, and we want these to be up off the ground because obviously the carrier ship is going to be positioned on the ground as well. We're up about 6 blocks here. I don't necessarily think 6 blocks will be high enough, but again, the great thing with World Edit is we can make modifications on the fly, and we can move the whole build up and down as we please. All right, so we're going to flip the build. So we're going to flip it back, and then we're going to paste it in. All right, and there it is. All right, the next thing to do now is to copy in 2 additional versions of this ship, just back a little bit further and off to the sides. So we'll go through and do that now. When we do this copy in, all of this airspace here is going to get copied in as well, so we're going to end up losing a large portion of the back of the ship. So what I've done is I've made an additional copy up over there, which we'll use to paste it, or to copy and paste the back portion of the ship back in once we're done. This is always a good idea to do whenever you're doing anything in World Edit. If you have a completed design, just copy and paste it off in another location. The reason why I did that one as opposed to going back and using the original reference ship over here is because we flipped it, and it's just a lot easier just to have another copy in the right orientation, just on another part of the map. All right, so that we got the whole area selected. We want the nose of the other ship to be right here. So that'll be our reference point. So when we do our copy, we'll be standing on the tip of the ship, and when we do the paste, we'll be standing back here, and I've done that on both sides. So we'll go and do that now. Oops. So the copy, and then we'll come back over here and do our paste. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . And we'll see what we lost. Pretty much the entire engineering section. Okay. All right. And then we'll lose the rest of the engineering section when we do this as well, but that's fine. Oh, I think this is actually going to overlap on that ship over there. Yeah, it does. Okay. So how far in? Okay, that's going to be a problem. So how much did we lose? How do we want to do this? We want to go to the center of this ship here, and then we want to kind of go back to the center of this ship here. So from this block to here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it overlaps by, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we actually need to move each block, each of our reference points, our starting reference points, over 10 plus probably 3. So we'll undo all that stuff we just did. There we go. And then so we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plus 1, 2, 3. And then we'll just try that one on real quick. Oops. And we'll try this one over here. So 1, 2, 3. So I go, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3. And see what that's like. Okay. Just plug up the water temporarily just so I can think a bit better. All right. I mean, that is a good distance beside them. I think they could probably afford to move forward a little bit. Yeah, let's try that. So we'll undo both of those changes, and then we'll do forward by 3. I think I did 3. Yeah, I think that's a bit better. We're going to have a lot of extra space, but in hangar we can throw in some additional mechanical work within there, so I think that that'll be okay. All right, so now we'll come up to the ship. I think we'll just copy the entire rear section. Yeah, we could probably... Yeah, from the rear section, probably from here. Yeah, okay, we'll do that. Actually, yes, okay. Sorry. I'm a little bit sick, so my brain's a little bit all over the place, so I apologize about that. So we'll go here, there. Actually, we go all... Can we go all the way down here? No, we'll go here. Okay. Span 2 up. And then we'll do 2 down. And then it's going to be about 6 north. Did I screw that up? Yeah, no expand, sorry. And I missed it by 2. 2. All right, perfect. Let's make sure that gets the whole area. It does there. We're a little short on one side, so north, south, east, west. So 1 west. Perfect. All right, so now we're going to stand on a reference point. So right here will be our reference point. We'll do copy. And make sure we add the Y this time. And then we'll come over to our damaged ship and we'll paste it in. All right, there we go. So the only thing we need to do now is just add on the legs. I'll do the same copy and paste command that I just did over there, but I won't walk you through that right now. So I'll get that taken care of, and then I'll come back and show you where we're at. All right, so I've got those legs copied and pasted and put it back on this ship right here, and that's what it looks like. Now, these ships, they're not necessarily going to be the exact ones that I use in the final build. These ships will have to be recopied back in when we're done, because as we build, like as you saw with these ships, we did a lot of copying and flipping to make sure that the build was symmetrical, and this is going to be a symmetrical build when we're done. But if we were to copy the whole ship and try to flip and such, we're going to end up with the insides of these ships also mirrored, which we don't want to do. So once the build is all done, we'll be re-putting these ships back in. But these are really kind of in here for a placeholder, just so as we build the rest of the ship, our other measurements and other dimensions of things can be can fit accordingly. I've also copied in a floor, and this is going to be the general layout, the general area of the hangar. It obviously still needs to be tailored and such, but it'll end up getting wider here and wider there. This front part here was where the ships will exit the carrier. It's going to have the same sort of shielded door as the other carrier ship that I built, and then there's about 5 blocks of slop on each side, just because you don't want to have it tight, have like this wing right up against the wall as it goes out, because that's just not going to look very good. So I've added about 5 blocks between, so that red block is directly underneath the wing, so there's 5 blocks of space between the wing and the wall. Okay, so already this ship is going to be pretty long. I think probably what we're going to have is the entire bottom of the ship is going to be the hangar deck, plus a little extra space on the back for the reactor core. So I think we can probably afford to put in another ship right back here. We could probably actually copy in this whole area, another 3 of these ships going back. But already we're pretty long. Let's actually just check and see how long it is. Sorry about that. Line this up, and we'll check the whole length of the ship here. All right, so 129 blocks. So that's not so bad. If we were to add in another one, we'll be at about 230 blocks long. So probably 250 to 275 is how long the ship is going to be when everything's all said and done. All right, we'll get rid of that here. All right, so the next thing that we're going to work on is kind of building up this area and shaping it a little bit. I'm actually going to save that for the next video. I mentioned a little bit earlier that I've been a little under the weather and I've been quite sick today and not been able to focus too much on the building, but it's been a couple weeks since I actually put out a video and I wanted to get something out to you guys as well. I was actually on vacation last week and just decided not to do any sort of video work while I was off from my real job. But anyway, we'll get back to this again next week. If you have any suggestions or anything that you'd like to see built into this ship, please let me know. I mentioned we are building from the inside out, so we have the ability to put in any sort of rooms or things that you're looking for. One of the things I've not put in any of my builds before is a holodeck, and I'd like to explore what that could potentially look like. So if you have any suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next video. Thanks for watching.